the one thing that we all have in common, the one thing that we're all chasing after, the one thing that we are all searching for desperately in every single moment of our life, myself included, by the way. That's why I wrote this book, because I can feel it too. It is what has brought me to destruction. It's what has led me to different addictions in my life and destructive habits, but ultimately it's what's brought me back to myself. And what I'm talking about here is this search for safety, security, and love. We all want to feel safe, secure, and loved. That's really all we're after. And so we do pretty crazy things to get safety, security, and love, like we will grind, we will hustle to make more money, to get a bigger house, to get a beautiful car. We will obviously provide for our families, but we try to do things to get approval from our parents because our inner child still really wants that. We will dress a certain way, we will look a certain way, we will go to events over and over and over again. We'll say yes to things that we don't really want to go to. We'll do things that are out of alignment with ourselves. We will reach for things that aren't really helpful, like we'll binge eat, we'll drink booze, we'll do different drugs, we'll buy so much stuff, and we'll just fill our houses because we're constantly searching for safety, security, and love. And I've been there. I've gone down all the different roads, and they've all led me to the same place, which is this realization that you cannot find safety, security, and love anywhere outside of yourself. Period. A relationship, a beautiful, healthy relationship, is a great vehicle to guide you back into yourself, right? Which is the only place you can find it. It's not meant to be the thing that gives you safety, security, and love. I'm in a happy, healthy relationship, but what he has done for me is he has shown me and continually shows me how to come back into myself and how to find safety, security, and love within myself. So my book, Coming Clean, is really about stopping that search out there and starting to turn inward to find it in here. And outside of the book, just separately from that, just my message to you alone and my message to myself, really the purest message that I can give is that this is our job. It is our job to take responsibility for our safety, security, and love. Because all we want to feel is those three things, right? We want to feel safe, we want to feel secure, we want to feel loved, and yet we're searching for it in all the wrong places. And we're putting the blame or the responsibility or the fault on other people, and it's not theirs to carry. It's our responsibility and ours alone to make ourselves feel safe in our bodies, to feel secure in our bodies, and to feel loved. It's our job, and everything else is extra. So there's this quote that I read that I decided to put in my book because I love the quote so much, and it's a Rumi quote. And anybody who knows Rumi, he has, only great quotes, or those are the only ones that they wrote down, right? And he says, "Your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you have built against it." So what I take from that is that we have this access of to love within ourselves. You could call that source energy, you could call it life force energy, you could call it life, you could call it God, you could call it the universe. Whatever it is, there's love that wants to flow through you. There's this beautiful energy, this light that wants to flow through you. And what we do is that we learn to cut it off. We learn to block it accidentally through traumatic events, through embarrassing moments, through neglect, through abuse, through failed expectations, right? Different things that happen throughout our life, we learn to close off and contract. And then we block ourselves from that beautiful life force energy that's flowing through us that gives us access to that feeling that we're after, which is safety, security, and love. So what I teach in my book and what I want to help myself remember constantly, this is the journey that I too am on, is that only I, in my physical body, can give myself access to safety, security, and love. It's my responsibility to make myself feel good. It's not my boyfriend's responsibility. It's not my mom's responsibility. It's not my dad's. It's not my sister's. It's not your responsibility. It's no one's responsibility but my own. I can't get it in food, can't get it in shopping, can't get it in alcohol, can't get it in book sales, can't get it in attention, can't get it in money. I can't get it out there. I have to get it in here. But what happens is that we often just sit there and maybe hear that and think about it, and then we go, yeah, but how? How? And our mind starts to go crazy, and you do what you might refer to as overthinking. And that overthinking will lead you into feeling like you're doing something wrong, you can't get it, you're not enough, why can't you feel good, right? And you stay in your head, as Tony Robbins would say, stay in your head, you're dead. So what I'm inviting us to do in my book, in my teachings, in my blog I just wrote, in my own life example, is to come back into our physical body, is to use tools like our breath to calm our nervous system. And so when we do that, we're taking something that's huge and complex and we're bringing it down very, very simple, almost so simple that it doesn't seem real. You're like, yeah, right, I'm just gonna breathe and I'm gonna feel safe, secure, and loved. Yes, you are. Because we are, although very complicated creatures, we're also very simple. You're either in fight or flight or you're in rest and digest. One of the two. And if you feel any negative emotion, if you feel any tension in your body, you're in fight or flight. You're not in rest and digest. You're not in this calm, peaceful state. You are blocking the life force energy. You're holding tight and you're putting a kink in the hose of your life energy that's trying to flow throughout your physical body. So in order to stop doing that, you have to calm your nervous system. You can't do that up here. You keep thinking, you're going to make it worse. You overthink, you go in circles, and you're going to make it worse, right? You create problems. That's what the brain does. So instead, I'm inviting you to check in with your body. Very, very simple scan you can do at any time, whether you're driving, you're working, you're cleaning, you're sitting at home watching this video. Sorry, I got a tickle on my nose. And you can do it at any time. So right now, you'd scan your body and you'd notice where you feel tension. You'd notice that your shoulders are maybe a little bit hunched over. You notice that your jaw is a little bit clenched, got some tightness in your neck. You might notice that your belly is a little bit contracted and you're breathing from your chest. You're not opening here in your belly. Not opening here in your belly, right? So just check with yourself. Scan through, and I want you to make this a practice. In your daily life, practice this really, really simple scan. Scan your body for tension. Notice how you're closed, and instead I want you to open. So we would open up through the, expand through the heart space, open up through the shoulders, broaden the shoulders, lower the shoulders, expand through the belly. So instead of trying to suck our bellies in, which as women we've learned to do, because we've learned that a beautiful stomach is a flat stomach, and this just isn't true, right? It's not about having a flat sucked in stomach. It's about, sure, you can eat well and you can work out and you can want to have abs and all that, but you have to allow yourself to extend your belly, period. You have to allow your belly to take up space. You have to allow your belly to open and expand if you want to have a healthy flowing energy, if you want to have full breaths, full deep breaths. So we're not sucking in here on an inhale. We're actually opening and expanding on an inhale, completely opposite of what we've learned, right? Completely opposite of what we're used to. You want to focus on opening and expanding all the way through your rib cage, opening up your shoulders. Instead of tense and tight and contracted and closed, we're opening. So my knees are actually spread really far apart here, if you could only see. I have my knees in frog position. I'm letting my belly be extended. I'm expanding through my rib cage. Breathing in through my nose. Long, tall spine being pulled up like there's a string holding you from the crown of your head all the way to the ceiling and grounding you through your tailbone into the ground. So I've got a long, tall spine. I'm opened up through my shoulders and my heart space. I'm expanding and filling up on my inhale. Holding for a moment at the top, and then sigh, exhale out through your mouth like you're fogging up a mirror. I want you to extend that exhale for as long as you can. That's what's going to get your nervous system to calm down. My eyes actually get a little bit hazy when I do this because I get so calm instantly. And you're going to do that again. If you could do that for 4 rounds, golden. Inhale through the nose. Expand, fill up, expand and open, right? Not tight and contracted. Hold for a moment at the top, then exhale out through your mouth. And only take that next inhale when you absolutely have to. So this is about lengthening that exhale. So if you can focus on two things when you're doing this breath, when you're feeling negative emotion, when you're feeling disconnected in your daily life, I just want you to do two things. I want you to focus on opening instead of closing, right? Opening up, getting bigger, open, broader, open, expand, open. And then the other is to relax and release, extending that exhale. So you're opening and you're extending your exhale. If you do that for 4 rounds, you will absolutely shift your body into out of fight or flight into rest and digest, but then you're going to shift your emotions. You're going to change your mindset. You're going to feel differently because you're taking your hands off of this grip, that grip that you have so tightly onto life. Like you're doing this to your life. And if you do these 4 rounds of breath where you open and expand and then you sigh, you exhale, 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 exhale until you can't exhale any longer, you're doing this with your hands, right? You're surrendering, you're letting go, you're letting life flow. This is what we want. This is the feeling we are all after. But so many of us won't take the moment that it takes to do these breaths, and instead we'll go, nah, I just want to reach for food. I'm just going to go to the kitchen, or I'm just going to turn the TV on, or I'm just going to get my phone and scroll. I'm going to do that thing that's super easy instead, yet it doesn't get me to feel safe, secure, and loved at all. It just makes me feel like I'm going to numb my emotions for a minute. I'm going to numb, I'm going to distract, I'm going to shop, I'm going to gossip, I'm going to go stay busy, I'm going to go out to the bar, I'm going to do this thing. Great. But where does that leave you? It leaves you tight, contracted, closed, afraid, insecure, not safe, secure, and loved, which that's what we're all after. So remember this. You can only find that feeling within yourself. If you are searching for it anywhere out there, have fun, enjoy, good luck. You can do that for as long as you want. But inevitably, it will bring you to a breaking point where you feel like enough is enough. I feel like shit. I don't want to feel like shit anymore. All I do is sit around and think about these problems in my head. I want to actually feel better. And the only way I can do that is if I take the control back, I take the power back, and I do this with my own 2 hands, with my own 2 lungs, with my own heart, with my own body, with my own being. And I breathe. I take that one moment to, instead of reaching for something, instead of reaching for my phone or for food or for whatever it is, I'm going to look inside of myself, and I'm going to take those 4 deep, open, extended inhales and exhales and see if I can feel a little bit differently. I know it's hard to make that choice, but it's a practice. You just do it over and over and over again. Listen, I've been doing this for 6 years, trying to choose me over out there, right? Trying to return home in here instead of looking out there. That's why my book is called Stop Searching and Start Living. It's about stop the search out there and start living in here. The end. That's what it's about. But I'm still on the journey. I'm still learning. I'm still practicing. But it's about doing it every single day so that your default becomes, oh, I feel really stressed right now. I'm starting to overthink right now, and I really just want to go binge on some potato chips or some ice cream or some pizza, or I really just want to get on my phone and scroll to numb myself out. But I'm going to notice that I want to do that, and instead, I'm going to return to my body. I'm going to calm myself. I'm going to go to that home within myself, and I'm going to help myself feel the thing that I really want to feel by reaching for that, by reaching for food, by reaching for TV, by reaching for Amazon shopping cart, whatever you're doing to self-soothe. You have to recognize, what are you after? You want to feel safe, secure, and loved. And guess what? You're not going to get it from that thing outside of yourself. You can only get it from inside of yourself. So you take that moment and you pause and you put your hand on your heart, you put your hand on your belly, or you don't, whatever's easiest, and you just breathe. You self-soothe through calming your nervous system. You return back to that place of safety, security, and love, and you go, oh, now I feel better. And sure, I can still go eat some food if I want, but I'm coming at it from this place where I already feel good. So maybe I'm going to eat less, or maybe I'm going to choose a better food option, or maybe I'm just going to actually taste my food when I eat it instead of just piling it in my mouth and being like, wait, where did it go? Right? I know what that feels like. Trust me. There's a whole chapter on it in my book. I've done it all. I've ran 7 miles on a treadmill until I was limping afterward because I just wanted to numb out. I've bought $700 shoes and $300 watches just because I wanted to feel good in the moment. And I didn't recognize that those things wouldn't make me feel good. They wouldn't give me the feeling I was actually looking for. They'd give me a hit of dopamine, they'd give me a hit of excitement, a hit of fulfillment, and then it was over. What I really wanted was to feel stable, secure, and loved in my physical body. And the only way I can do that is by using my body, by using my breath, by calming my nervous system. It's that simple. I know it's not easy, but it is very simple. It's a practice. Get used to it. Start practicing it and see how your life transforms.